Okay, good to Vach, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming and joining us for the learning of Teres Hashem as Hashem Yisbarach. As we are co-sponsored by the Rezepkowitz family in honor of their parents. We're co-sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Eddie Chazan, L'Refuah Shalema for Shoshana Bas Penina and Simone Bas Rachel. We're co-sponsored by Binyamin Rivlin. Lili Nishmas Yitzchak Ben Avram Yudah Levi. We're co-sponsored by Shelley Zeitlin for the schus of his children, Eli, Orit, and Ora. We're sponsored by Baruch Goldwasser. L'Refuah Shalema for Moshe Meir Ben Esther Fradel. And Dov Meir Ben Chaya Gittel.
I got a guest on.
Yeah, okay. Dov Meir Ben Chaya Gittel. And hello there. We are sponsored by Shalom Fogel, Le'inu Shmas Yaakov Zeb Ben Yehuda Aryeh, Rivka Bas Yaakov Yosef, Tzib Yemirim Bas Gad, and Yosef Ben Sion Ben Yaakov Zev, that the neshama should have an aliyah. We are welcoming in Saba and his grandson. We're welcoming in We're welcoming in Yaakov Warman, Yisrael Fisher, A.B. Spry, Irving Fishbaum, Nachman Chapper, Mel Zachter, Yetzi Fuchs, Michal Akhtar, Barish Gesseman, Eddie Chazan, Avigdor, Dr. Guy, Barry Cement, Baruch Ian, Stephen Holtzman, Mo Kushner, Dov Solkowitz, Ilya Shutman, Naftali Jablin, Rabbi Kranz, Moshe Lehman, Menachem Umansky, Yitzi Muller, David Helfgott, and we are learning on the bottom of Samachei Amid Beis. The bottom of Samachei Amid Beis. Tan Rabbanan, 2 lines from the bottom. Tan Rabbanan. Menachesh. What is a Menachesh? This is a person that looks at things as signs. His bread fell out of his mouth, he shouldn't go on the trip. His cane fell out of his hand, stay home. His son is calling him back, stay home. A deer interrupted him, blocked the road, don't go. Nachish miyaminai of a shul b'smailai. He has a snake on his right, a wolf on his left. We start the top of Samach Vav Amud Aleph, Marshall. Al taschel bi. He tells the tax collector, don't start collecting with me. I don't want you to start with me. It's a bad sign. Or Shachrisu, I don't want you to ask me in the morning. Reish Chayishu, I don't want you to ask me in the first of the month. Matzu Shabbasu, it's the beginning of the week. I don't want you to ask me. Tan Rabbanan loisa nachashu v'loisa einenu. What does it mean, loisa nachashu? Kigain elu hamenachashim, like those who took as signs bechulda, the actions of a weasel, ba'ifais, the actions of birds, or bedagim, or the actions of fish. Those that, by the way, dabble in astrology, they're really playing with fire. The Rambam says it's worthless. There's no basis. And others say that there is something to astrology, but it's forbidden to engage in it. So there are people, unfortunately, that dabble in it, and it's not a Yiddish thing to do. We now start the Mishnah on Samach Vav Amud Aleph, just getting underway on a beautiful Matzah Shabbos. If somebody desecrates the Shabbos, if he does it without Eidim and Asra on purpose, he gets Karas. If he does it by accident, he's Chai B'Chatas. If he does it with Eidim and Asra, he gets Skila. So the Gemara says, "Michlal de'ika midei dechilul Shabbos havei." There is desecration of the Shabbos. Ve'ein chayavim lo'yal shigigas chatas v'lo'yal zdainai karas. That is biblical forbidden, but there's no chatas and there's no karas. Mayi, what is that? I mean, the 39 malachas all are zdainai karas. What is there that's not zdainai karas and shigigas chatas? So the Gemara gives us two things. Tchumen v'alibid Rabbi Kiva, the law that you can't go outside of the tchum, outside of beyond 2,000 amas of the city, which is, according to Rabbi Kiva, biblical, but it's not an Issachar. And Havara, alibid Rabbi Yaisi. Remember we said that even though it tells us all 39 malachas, but it singles out making a fire, lo yisavaru eish b'chol ma'ash v'yiseichem, and Rabbi Yaisi holds that it singles it out, lelav, to tell us that there's a lav and not chorus. And we welcome in, just joining us, Shelley Zeitlin is just joining us, and I just saw Chaim Braun come in for 32 Zoomers on this early evening. We're expecting yet more. Gedalia Engel has come in and joined us. So, second Mishnah on Samach Vav Amud Aleph, Hamakal Av V'imay, if somebody curses his father and mother, Rachmam L'Tzon, Ein Chayiv, Ad Sheyikal Aleim B'Shem. He's only Chayiv if he cursed them with Hashem's name. Kill him Bekinoi if he used a substitute like Tzvakais, or Shakai. Rameya Mechayiv, Rameya says he's Chayiv to be stoned, V'chachamim Poitrim. Man Chachamim, who are the Chachamim that hold that it has to be the ineffable name? Rab Nachman Rabbi Yaisi. It's Rab Nachman Rabbi Yaisi. The Tanya Rab Nachman Rabbi Yaisi. Aimer binokvay shame yumas. When you curse with the name, you're put to death. Ma Talmud Loimer shame that it has to be with the name. Limit al Makal Avivimai, that one who curses his father and mother. Shein Chayiv ad sheyikal aleim b'shem, until you curse with the Shem HaMefarish, with the ineffable name. Tan Rabbana, Ish, Matam Ish Ish, when it says Ish Ish by Mekal Av V'imai, what does it come to include? L'Rabbi's Bas, not only a son, also a daughter, a Tumtan, one who has their genitals covered by a skin, Vandrogenis, or one who has both Simone Zachar and Nekeva. Asher Yikal Alesav V'imai, who curses his father and mother. I only know father and mother. If he only curses his father, or imay shaloi aviv, or he only curses his mother minayin. The pasuk says aviv v'imay. Maybe it's only if he does them both. Talmud Lamed is another pasuk. Aviv v'imay kilel, dam of bay, his blood is on his own head. So that's an extra pasuk to tell me aviv kiloi, even if he just curses his father. Imay kilal, even if he just curses his mother. Divrei Rabbi Yashia. Rabbi Yonason says, when it says in the Torah, Aviv v'imay, it means either or. Always, it means either or, unless it says the words yachtav. Rabbi Yonason says, mashma shtein ke'echad, it implies both. Or mashma echad b'fnei atzmai, either the father or the mother. Ad sheyifr like hakasav yachtav. Unless the Torah says together, then it's only both. Mos yumas, he's put to death, beskila. Now, beskila, you say it's skila. Maybe it's one of the other misas. Maybe it's beheading. Maybe it's strangulation. Nema kan dam of bay. It says here dam of bay, but nema lahalan. And it says elsewhere demeyam bam. By oivi yadaini, it says demeyam bam. Malahalan beskila, just like over there it's stoning. Afkan beskila. Now remember, we learned already, and this is something that we learned. I made a bracha already. This is something this is an idea that we've already had many times, and that is the Torah tells us both a punishment and a warning. So, Aina Shemana, here we know the punishment, but where do we have the Azhara? Where do we have the warning. Says the Gemara, Ashara Minayin, Talmud Leimer, it says, Elohim Eloi Sikala. Now, Elohim over here, the Gemara assumes means a judge. A judge you should not curse. So, Imaya Aviv Dayan, if your father was a judge, Harihu Bechlal Elohim Eloi Sikala. Then he's included in that warning. V'imaya Aviv Nasi, if your father was a king, Harihu Bechlal V'Nasi B'amcha Eloi Sar. But what if he wasn't a king or a dayan? Ein oloi dayan v'loi nasi minayin. Amarta hariata don binyan of mishnayim. I could learn it out from both the king and the dayan. Loi roi nasi kuroi dayan v'loi roi dayan kuroi nasi. The features of a king is different than a dayan, and the features of a dayan is different than a king. Loi roi dayan kuroi nasi. The dayan is like the king. Shari dayan ata mitzvah al hayrasai. A dayan, you have to accept his psak. Kuroi nasi shiyata mitzvah al hayrasai. You don't need to accept his psak. He's not a dayan. V'loi roi nasi kuroi dayan. The king is not like the dayan. Shar nasi ata mitzvah al amrasai. You're not allowed to rebel against the king. There's a din of Morid b'malchus, that's chayav misa. Kuroi dayan, like a judge, you're not commanded against rebelling against him. Now, what's the common denominator of a king and a dayan? The common denominator is Shem ba'amcha. They are a member of your people. You're not allowed to curse them. So also I'll include your father, Sheba Mecha, he's a member of your nation. Everyone not to curse him. Says Gemara, you can't learn out from the king and the dayan. Their greatness caused the Isser. One is great because he's a king, one is great because he's a big expert dayan. You shouldn't curse a deaf person. Even if the deaf person can't hear you, you shouldn't curse him. There, it's talking about the downtrodden of your nation. So the Gemara says, maybe the Torah protects him extra since he is defenseless, since he is downtrodden. Well, Nasi V'dayin Yerchichu, that they're not downtrodden. Ma'ala Nasi V'dayin She'kein Gedulas and Garmalem, they're great. Cherish Yerchiach, the deaf person will disprove it. V'chazar Adin, then you could now learn out from both. Loi Roi Zek Roi Zeh, the benefits of one are not like the benefits or deficiencies of the other. But Loi Roi Zek Roi Zeh, they have different features. The common denominator is Shem ba'amcha, they're members of your people. Va'ata mitzvah muzar al kilulasan, you can't curse them. Afani ovi avicha shebamecha, he's a member of your nation. Va'ata muzar al kilulasan. So again, the Gemara says, no, there's a problem. The common denominator of all three, dayan, nasi, and a cherish, is that they are different. Shekain Meshunin, they're different. Ella says the Gemara, Im kein nichtav kra oy elihim v'cheresh, either the dayan and the deaf mute, oy nasi v'cheresh. You wouldn't have to write all three. It could just write the nasi and the cheresh. Elihim lamali. Why does it have to also say the judge? Im eina inyan l'gufa, if it's not needed for itself, t'neu inyan la'aviv. So the Gemara says, that's good if you learn the pasuk of Elohim lo yisakalal is going on a judge. But what if you learn it's going on Hashem? That's going on a judge. And it's mundane. That it's Elohim lo yisakalal, and it's telling you you're not allowed to curse God. The Tanya, there's a machlokes, Elohim chal. It's referring to a judge. Divrei Bishmo. Rabbi Kiva Aimer, Elohim Kaidish. V'tanya Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov Aimer, Ashar l'Mavarach es Hashem minayim. Mavarach is of course a euphemism. How do you know that you're not allowed to curse Hashem? Talmud Leimer Elohim lo yisakala. So now the Gemara says, well, L'mandi Yomer Elohim chol. And if Mandi Yomer that Elohim is mundane, Gomer Kaidish Michal. We learn out of Kal V'chomer that you surely shouldn't curse God if you shouldn't even curse a judge. L'man yam elikim kodesh, gaminon chel mi kodesh. We learn out you shouldn't curse your father from Hashem. So Bishlam l'man yamar Elohim chel gomer kodesh mechel. I can understand that if you can't curse a judge, you surely can't curse Hashem. L'man yamar Elohim kodesh gomer chel mi kodesh. How can you learn out chel from kodesh? Dilma kodesh aser. The Torah says you can't curse God, but maybe achol lo yaser. Maybe you're not warned not to curse your father. Says the Gemara, there's another ribui. Im kain lichtav kroloi sakel with one lamed. That's enough. Loi sekalel lamali. Why does it say with two lameds? Loi sekalel lamali. Why does it say with two lameds? Shmamino tarte. We learn both. Says the Heilige Mishnah, just getting on the way, 32 Zumers strong on this beautiful Matzah Shabbos, starting a new week with learning Torah Hashem, to be Mekayim the mitzvah v'dibarta bam, la'asos nachas ruach liyotzreinu, habal nara hamarasa. If somebody rapes a betrothed maiden, a marasa is a specific age from 12 and 1 day to 12 and a half days. There are a lot of particulars over here. There's a lot of, somebody is not muted. Yaakov Warman, you're not muted. Says the Gemara, Einoi chayiv, you're not chayiv, ad shetei nara besula murasa. She has to be a maiden. That's from 12 years and 1 day to 12 and a half years and 1 day. She has to be a virgin, and she has to be betrothed. Right? If she's married already, then it's chenek, that it's strangulation, it's not stoning. And added to that is v'hi b'beis aviyah. She's still in her father's home. She wasn't yet given over to the shluchei habal, to the agents of the husband. Bo le'ashnayim, if two people sleep with her, so Rishon b'skila, the first one is stoned because then she was still a virgin. V'asheni, she's not a virgin anymore. Then b'chenach, the second one is regular adultery, which is strangulation. Ton Rabbanan. Now we're going to learn how we know these things. Nara, a maiden, v'loy boigris, not if she's older than 12 and a half years and 1 day. Besula, a virgin, v'loy ba'ula, not that she already was slept with. Murasa, only if she's betrothed, v'loy nesua. Bebeis aviyah, in her father's house. Prat, l'shemaser av l'shluchei habal. That excludes if the father already gave her over to the agents of the husband, then she's not an Amaras anymore. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Marav, zu divrei Meir. This that we exclude a ketana is only the opinion of Meir. Aval chacham maimim, namar amorasa, a betrothed maiden, and afilu ketana b'mashma. Even if she's a minor, if she's under 12 years, and someone slept with her when she was engaged and a virgin, it's going to be stoning. Amalei Ravachim adifted Ravina Memaid Masnisa Rameir. Who says our Mishnah is Rameir, and when it says Nara, it's Ulamute Ketana Nami, and it excludes a minor. Dilma Rabbanan, maybe the Mishnah is going contra Rabbanan. When it says Nara, it's only to exclude a Baigris. Ulamute Baigris, only to exclude if she's older. V'sulai, and not any further. Amalei, so he says, you got to read the words. If it included even a katana, then it wouldn't say Ein Chayiv until she is a nara. It would say instead Ein Chayiv Ela al nara b'sula marasa mebayle. Then that would only exclude a baigris. But Achete nara excludes a katana also b'sulay midei. And we don't need to talk about anything more. That's a good proof that our Mishnah is going according to Rameir. Now, says the Gemara, Rameir that holds that if he sleeps with a Ketana Murasa, he's exempt. Does that mean he's exempt from Skila, but he gets Chenek, or does it mean he's exempt entirely? So, by Minei Rabbi Yaakov Bar Abba Merav, Baal Ketana Murasa, if he sleeps with a minor who's umurasa, l'rameir mahu. What's the din according to Rameir? Do we say that legamre, completely, he's exempt from the death penalty? I could use a cup, maybe. I shouldn't drink from a bottle. That's a good glass of it. Going for a walk? Have a nice walk. Shush. Should you take a sweater with you? I made a bracha already. So, Boimine Rabbi Yaakov bar Abba, Merav, Balak Tanim and Russell Rameh Mao. Do we say legamrei mametle, that there's no death sentence at all? Or miskila mametle, or it's there only no stoning, but there is strangulation. It is like regular adultery. Amalei, so the Gemara answers mistabra miskila mametle. It's only excluded from stoning. Says the Gemara, wait a second. V'aksivu meisu gam shneim, and they both die. The adulterer and the adulteress, which implies that akshiyu shnei and shavin, until both of them are equal. Of course, if she's a ketana, she's not executed because there's no einshin by a girl under bas mitzvah, so it's not shnei and shavin. So shasik Rav was silent. Amashmul, my time is shasik Rav. The name Alei, he should cite another pasuk. Umeiso ish asher shachav ima levadai. That there are times when the man who sleeps with her alone dies. So the Gemara says, you know what? It is a machloikis tanoi. Kitanoi. Umeiso gam shneim, they both die. Actually, shneim shavin. Only if they're both going to die, that means that they're both responsible adults. Divrei Rabbi Yoshia. Rabbi Yoshia said, I mean, no, Meisa Isha Sheshachav Ima Levada. There are times where if she's a ketana, only he will die. V'idach, and the one that says that where she's a ketana, only he will die. Hahi Umeisu Gam Shneim Aydarish. What does he do with the pasuk of Meisu Gam Shneim? Amarava Lim'ute Maise Chidudim. It comes to exclude where there's only an act of pleasure. That means he takes his male organ and rubs it on a different part of her body. So if he rubs it on a different part of her body and not by her genitals, then there's no death sentence. V'idach, I don't need a prosec for that. Everybody knows that that's simply not cohabitation. That's not intercourse. The idach, and the one that says you're only chayiv if they both are responsible adults, hai levadai my darishbei. What does he do with the pasuk of Meisa Isha Sheshachav Ima levadai? Kedetanya bo alecha asar b'nei adam. If 10 people sleep with her, v'adayin hi besula, and she's still a basula. In other words, all 10 slept with her, but they didn't rupture her hymen. They all were weak people, and they all slept with her. They were moitzi zera. They did you don't have to be moitzi zera, but she's still a basula. Since she's still a basula, the Tanakama says kulam beskila. They all get stoned because she's still a basula. Rabbi Yaimer Harishim b'skila, only the first one that sleeps with her is skila. V'kulan b'chanek, the rest are strangled, because that we learn out from the pasuk of Meisa Isha Sheshachav Ima Levadai. Only the first one that slept with her gets skila. Tanarabana, ubas ish kayin, ki seichel liznois. The daughter of a kayin who profanes herself and is mezana, we know that there's a special penalty because she profaned her father's home, and she gets sreifa. Rabbi Aimer Tchila. Rabbi says it's only first. Now that's an enigmatic statement. It's only in the beginning. V'cheinu Aimer, and likewise it says Umeisa Isha Asher Shachav Ima Levada. Now there's two things. What does Rabbi mean Tchila first, and what is the comparison to the man alone dies? Mike Amar. What exactly is Rebbe saying over here? Amar Rav Huna Breid Rabbi Shua, Rebbe ki Rabbi Shmuel Sriulei. Rebbe holds like Rabbi Shmuel that when is there sreifa by a bas kohen, the Amar Arusa Yatzel Sreifa. Only the Arusa gets sreifa, v'loy nesua, and not a married bas kohen. The married bas kohen gets regular chenek, just like the married bas Yisrael. It's only the Nara Marasa bas kohen that gets sreifa. That's what he means by tchila. It's only in the beginning when she's an arusa. V'achi kamer im tchilas bia biznus. If the initial bia when she was an arusa besula is biznus besreifa. Either after that she's married or she's not a besula bechenek. My v'chein. What is the v'chein? It says meisa isha sheikhiv ima levada ki hasam, like by a bas Yisrael. Ma hasam betchilas bia mishtoikra. Just like by a bas Yisrael, it's only at Nar Marasa that gets skila. Hachanami betchilas bia mishtoikra. Over here also, it's only by the first bia. It's only while she is a Nara Marasa. Now, Amalei Rabbi Bar Avaya, Rabbi Bar Avaya says, I didn't learn from my Rebbe that interpretation. Mar loyhochi Amar. My master did not give me this interpretation of the enigmatic comment when Rebbe said that the Bas Kohen, it's talking about Tchila. Rather, Umanu Rav Yosef, rather it's saying Rav Karameir Svirale. The Amar Nisis Le'echad Min Apsulin. If the Bas Kohen was married to somebody that was puzzled to her, let's say she was married to a mamzer, let's say she was married to a nasan, then misasa bechenek, then her misa would be with strangulation. It wouldn't be with sreifa. Why? Because it says kiseichel is nice, that it's only v'achikama im tchilas achalasa. If her first profanation was biznus, then besreifa. But here she already profaned herself by marrying a mamzer, the idach bechenek. Umay v'chein. Then what's really the comparison to the case of skila by an armarasa? Simana ba'alma. That's just a mnemonic to remember that just like over there, it's only the first bia with a nara besula murasa that there's skila. So here also, it's only if it's the beginning of her profanation. It's only if this is the first time she profaned herself with her adultery. But if she already profaned herself by marrying someone that was puzzled to her, then it wouldn't be sreifa, it would be chenek. Now, Rabbi said we're going to switch the channel now, but before I do, there is I'm a little bit driving you crazy this week with the change of times. This is a really abnormal change, which I hope everybody will be able to accommodate, since tomorrow is not a work day for most people. I was asked by the Rav of Deerfield, Deerfield has one of the biggest daf yomis around, and Rabbi Edelman asked me to give the shir for the big Olam at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I want to merge our shir with that shir at 9 a.m. How does that sound to the Olam? 9 a.m. is good?
I'm teaching them.
Rabbi, we have a luncheon. The shul is going on a bus.
Yeah, but not 9 a.m.
I have to go to the Symposium.
Here.
Chakra Chicago is 9 o'clock your time, 8 o'clock our time tomorrow.
And Rebbe Bruce and Bubba Kama at the same time.
Wow, I see we're losing some people here, huh?
Wait, is this 9 o'clock tomorrow morning instead of tomorrow night?
Yes.
I'm actually good for that time.
Hey, Fisher, you're making trouble here.
I know.
Barely get home from shul at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Tomorrow the Shachos is 8 o'clock, and barely home at 9 o'clock.
Who, you?
Yeah.
All right, but you can make it.
Fairwinds still in shul.
But you can make it at home, no?
I have to run.
Yeah. All right. So you'll run. Dov, could you switch around your chavrusa maybe for tomorrow?
It's a whole chabura.
It's a chabura.
It's about 8 or 9 people.
All right, we're also a chabura. Everybody.
I think we have 25 Zoomers. Does Marshall still get the case then? On a Sunday morning, 25 Zoomers. Marshall deserves bourbon.
No, it's Sunday
With
morning.
you, Barry.
Sunday morning it should be 75. Sunday.
Oh, now you changed the rules. That's not fair. We just finished the bottle of Chol.
Anyway,
That has to do what he has to do.
anyway, Lamaisa is it's going to be recorded on Torah Anytime and on YouTube and on Kalaloshin. So if somebody has to miss it, but we're going to be.
But it'll be on Zoom.
What?
It'll be on the regular Zoom.
Of course.
It'll be at 9 o'clock in the morning.
How long do you expect the share to run tomorrow?
I would say about 45 minutes.
Your hand, 45 minutes. All right. Probably work. 45 minutes probably will work.
And Yitzi, you could put it on in your class, you know.
Not if it's Gemara like tonight, he can't. He's got 6th grade.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay.
Okay. Actually tomorrow's daf is safe. Tomorrow's daf is safe. It's